It's my fault that a guy got bored. In fact, it was me that bored him.
Hey, my name is Carbon, and today we're going to be learning how to make these cards right over here. So let's just get right into it. So let's start off with a section with the class of grid, and then inside this we're going to have just a container. This is just a regular container so that there's some space in between the sides, you'll see later. And then we'll have a div with the class of grid parent. And inside this grid parent, we're going to have all the items. So basically all the cards are going to be inside here. So we're going to have an A tag with the class of grid item. Okay, and I'm just going to link this nowhere for now. Our grid item is going to be these things right over here. So it's each individual item. And inside our grid item, we're going to have two divs. One, which is the grid content, and then the second one is going to be the layer. So our grid content is just going to be the text inside here, so the icon, the text, and everything inside. And our layer is just going to be this right over here. So when we hover, our layer comes over. So right now, let's work on our grid content. And first thing we need is actually an icon. So let's go over to Font Awesome and let's just get a kit. Okay, so we're gonna just copy this kit over here and paste it here. And let me just change this to like cards tutorial, the title, real quick. Now let's get the icon. So we'll get the Apple icon here. And we should have this here. So let's actually make this icon a bit bigger. So let's give it FA-3x, and that's just gonna make it a little bit bigger. And then next let's have a H2, and we'll just put here iOS app. Then we'll have a P tag, and we'll just put create, browse, and save palettes on the go. You can put anything you want, but I'm just gonna copy what they have here. So we actually have most of the HTML done already. So let's actually just go to our CSS and we'll just declare this. It's a good habit to just put this to border box, and then we'll go to body and we'll just put the padding and margin to 0. And let's just also make the container. We'll just do a basic container max with 90 rem with 90%. Margin 0 auto, and padding top and bottom 5M. And this will just okay, I was wondering why it didn't work. You obviously need to link your style sheet. So now you have something like this, and then as you can see, there's going to be some space on the side. So yeah, and let's also just get our font for this real quick. So let's go over to Google Fonts, and we'll just get Inter, and I'll just get everything here. So just copy this part here, and then link it over to the head here. And then let's just give our body a font family of Inter. Okay, so now we can actually get over to styling the cards. So we'll just make a comment here, and then let's target grid item. And grid item is our A tag here. So basically our individual item. We'll get a background color of F7, F7, F8. We'll do text align center. And let's also just give this a display of flex so that the background color comes in. Let's give this a bit of padding, so 2M. Let's put this in the center. So we'll do align items center, and also justify content center. Let's also give this a border radius of 10 pixels and a color of black with a text decoration of none. Okay, so now we have something like this. Now obviously in the colors website, there's more than just one item. Okay, so we want 5 items. So let's get our A tag, so our item, and let's duplicate our grid items 4 times inside of this grid parent. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we should get something like this. Now obviously you don't want it to be like this, and in the colors website it's something like this. So in order to fix this, we could get our grid parent, and if you remember, our grid parent is just a wrap that's wrapping all the items. So let's put this to display grid. We'll do grid template columns repeat auto fit min max 250 pixels 1 FR, and you should have something like this. And let's just give this a gap of 2M. Now when you're on smaller screen sizes in the colors website, you'll have something a little bit more fancy like this. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to be showcasing cards, and if you go into full screen, you should be having something like this. So now that we have the general layout, let's actually just change the contents of each item. So this is probably going to take a while. You can put anything you want really. Okay, so I'm actually done with all the text. So now we just have to change the icons. So go to Figma, change this to FA3X, and you get the point. You just search in Chrome, and you should this tree. Now for Android, it's a bit weird, and I couldn't really find a right icon, so I'm actually just going to copy this icon code instead. So let's go over to the Android app. Let's go here. And right, we actually need to link this here. I'll be linking this in the description, so if you want to use the Android icon, then you can actually use it here. Okay, we're almost done, except you can actually see here, there's actually this new kind of badge here. And we're just going to create that real quick, and then right after. And once we're done, we can actually get over to the hover effect. So in order to make this badge here, let's go inside of our grid content, and let's make a div called badge. Inside of this div, we'll have a p tag with the class of badge text1. And we'll just put new. So you should have something like this, but in order to position it like this, we need to get our badge. And let's just put this to a position of absolute. And let's put this top, let's say we want to put it top 0. The top 0 basically means that it's going to stick at the top. But we don't want our text to stick at the top of the page, but rather we want it to stick at the top of this item here. So what we want to do is go over to grid item and just simply put a position of relative. Now you can see that it's at the top of here. So if you change this to bottom 0, you can see that it's actually at the bottom of this item. So let's actually position this properly now. So let's put a top of 0.75 rem. So basically it's 0.75 rem away from the top, right 1.5 rem, and it's just 1.5 rem away from the right side. Let's give this a font size of 10 pixels. Now let's actually style the text. We'll get badge text 1, background color D5 F8 EF. We'll put color 146 E55. That we'll have padding top and bottom 0.25 m, and then left and right 0.5 m. Border radius 4 pixels, and let's give this a font weight of 800, and that should be it for now. Now if you want to add any more badges, all you need to do is grab this badge div, and then let's say I want it on the Figma plugin. Go here, go inside of the grid content, and then just simply paste this in, and you'll see we have this. So let's put this on subscribe, make sure to subscribe. So inside this grid content, we'll put this in here. Now that's fine, but we want to maybe change the color. So if you want to do that, it's pretty simple. We just have to change 1 to, let's say, 2, and then 3. So now you'll see that the styles are gone. So what you could do is you could go and copy and paste this 2 times, and we'll put this to 2 and 3. So let's style the Figma plugin, which is number 2. And we just have to change the background color and the color. So FFE5F4, and the color should be E50087. For this one, let's just do FEF3CE, and then 9E7C03. There you go. Okay, so we're actually done with styling all the items. Now we just have to make this hover effect. So let's go over to our HTML, and literally all you need is a h2 tag, and we'll give this a class of layer h2-1, and then just type in whatever you want. So I'm going to type view on the app store, and that's it. I'm going to make a section called layer, and I'll just get the layer div. For the layer, let's start off with width 100%. We'll put height to 0%, position absolute, left and bottom 0. Now you should have something like this. Next, let's have overflow hidden, display flex, and then align item center, justify content center, and this one is just gonna center everything in the center, and we'll do flex direction column, which is going to make the text go vertically. Then let's just do padding 1em left and right, and we'll do text align center. And let's also do a border radius of 10 pixels to match the item, and we'll do an opacity of 0. So let's see what happens when we put this height to 100%, and also opacity to 1. We'll see that the text actually comes over here. So knowing this, let's just put this back to 0. Let's do grid item, hover, and then layer. So basically it's saying when we hover over the item, so this, we want to basically put the height of the layer to 100% and also the opacity to 1. You see that if I hover over the iOS app, the text actually pops up. So let's make this look a little nicer by first getting a transition. So let's go over to layer, and we'll do a transition of 0.3 seconds, cubic Bezier, and inside we'll do 0.6, 0.4, 0, 1, and you should have something like this. So this looks nice, but we kind of want the content to fade away once we hover over the item. So how can we do that? It's pretty simple. So we can simply do that by saying when we hover over the grid item, so grid item hover, let's get the grid content, and we'll simply put the opacity to 0. You'll see that it's gone. So when we hover over the item, we want the grid content, so all the text here, to be gone. And let's make this look nicer by simply putting a transition on the grid content, copying this transition and pasting it here. Look at that. Oh. Okay, so as for the animation, we're actually done, and the only thing left to do is to style the text in the background. So real quick, I'm just going to get the layer H2, and I'm going to make this font weight 800, and then I'm just going to put the width to 60, and then font size to 30 pixels, just so that it's a bit more close together. So yeah, let's just style the colors. So I'm going to make a section called colors, and I'm simply going to do grid item and child 1 hover. So when we hover over the first grid item, so basically our iOS app, then we just simply want the background color to be D8F6FF. Look at that. And let's also get our layer H2-1. Let's just give this a color of 008EE5. And let's just give our grid item age transition so that it looks nicer. There you go. That looks really nice. So let's give the rest of these items some text. So let's go over to Android app and we'll do a H2 class and we'll put in layer H2, but this time we want H2-2 because it's the second one. And this is important because we're going to put different colors. So let's just do view on the Play Store. Let's go over to Figma and we'll do H2 with the class of layer H2 tree. And you get the point. And basically you could do, let's say for form extension, you can copy this and just change this to 4, copy this, change this to 5. And you could just put whatever text you want in here. And I'm just going to do this real quick. Okay, so now you should have something like this. This one's a bit weird, but I'll fix this right at the end. So in order to put different colors, all we need to do is copy and paste this part here. And just change the numbers to 2. And what we could do is, let's put the background color to D5, F8, and then the colors to 1, 4, B, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. So I think you get the point. This is pretty simple. I'm just going to copy this one more time, and I'm just going to get this done. F8, F8, F5, F4, E5, 0, 6, done. Copy, paste, change this to 4. E8, E2, F7, H02, F8, done. Copy, paste. F8, F3, C, and E8, E let's just give this a width of 100%. Important. So yeah, we are actually done. It wasn't too hard. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm. I'm trying to get financial freedom. I'm not trying to work a 9 to 5, and you can help me out on my journey to financial freedom with a click of a button. That's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.